In this video we're going to talk about what is learned in the very first lesson of playing the flute. We have different parts of the flute. This little part here is called the foot joint. That's the end of the flute. And the head joint is the part that we blow through. And the biggest part of the flute is what we call the body of the flute. In this first lesson we're learning simply how to make a noise on the head joint. So the goal of this lesson is to get us to be able to go or, and if you want to have fun with it, you might need to use your first finger if your pinky is a little small. So those are the things that I want you to learn before you come to your next lesson. Something really important about this lesson is you're going to be tempted to put the whole flute together and try playing the entire flute. I want you to try to resist that temptation for just a couple of days. On your next lesson you're going to learn how to put it all together and play the whole thing. For this lesson I want you to just focus on trying to make a noise on your head joint. You're going to have a struggle right at first probably. You might do something like this. And you see it took me a little bit of time to get that to make the right noise. So I want you to play around with it as much as you can over the next couple of days and get to the point where you can just bring it right up to your lips and do that with it. If you can do that by your second lesson, you're in good shape. A couple of pointers on how to make this noise. First of all, you're going to put your lips together loosely, like you're saying not real tight, just kind of relaxed. We say because it tightens up the corners. And then we're going to blow right out of the middle of our lips. And it's going to be kind of a small opening that we use. We're going to whisper the letter P, or you could think the word poo. And we're going to whisper that right across the top of this head joint. Now the little hole faces towards the ceiling. The big hole is going to go towards the right. What we're going to do is we're going to put this underneath our bottom lip so that this edge, the edge closest to us of this hole, goes right here on our bottom lip. And I can feel that ledge there on my bottom lip. And I'm just going to whisper that letter P across the top of it. If you're having a hard time with that, trying to find the right placement for it, then what you can do is roll this towards you so that your bottom lip is on this ledge and your top lip is on this ledge. And we call this the kiss and roll. So we're going to kiss it, and I can feel the two ledges there. Then I'm going to roll it out. I can still feel that closest ledge on my bottom lip, and that puts it in the right spot. Okay, once you've mastered that, you can practice putting it together. So the head joint is going to go into the body of the flute, and we're not going to put it in all the way. We're going to leave a little bit of excess right here, about that much, and that helps us to get the flute in tune. You don't want to push it in all the way. Then we're going to take the foot joint and we're going to put it on the other end of the flute. When you put the foot joint on, what you want to do is line up this rod right here with this, the center of this pad that's right above it. Don't line the rods up like that. They will be in the wrong spot. You want to turn it like that. If you're having a hard time getting your parts of your flute together, they may be dirty or they might be dinged up just a little bit, you can take a paper towel and wipe off any of the grime that might be on the parts that go inside the flute right here. And you can also put a little bit of Vaseline on it, and Vaseline helps it to go in a little smoother. And then the last thing that we learn in this first lesson is how to put our hands on the flute the correct way. Our left hand is going to be facing back towards us, kind of like a sock puppet that's talking to us, and our right hand is going to be facing this direction, so they're looking at each other. The right hand is kind of like a book, like you're pulling a book off of the shelf. And notice whenever I pull a book off the shelf, what I do is I put my thumb right below these two fingers. You don't want to have your thumb like that. You want to have it right below those two fingers. And for this right hand, we're going to use these three fingers and put them on the three bottom keys down here. And you'll notice then that my thumb is directly below those two fingers, and the pinky goes on this key right here, closest to the body of the flute. Next, the left hand is going to be the one that's facing back towards us. It's going to go on like this. Now there's a couple of things that you need to keep in mind whenever you put your hand on like that. Number one, the thumb is on this bigger key on the back. Number two, you'll notice that there are a couple of keys right here that I'm not playing. In fact, I'm skipping the first and third keys. Okay? No finger on the first and third. They'll never ever play those. They'll always be empty. And then finally, this finger, my first finger, is going to make kind of a little seat like that for the flute. And it's going to wrap around the flute like that. And the reason for that is it helps me to hold the flute up. So when you put all that together, that's what this hand looks like.